Hello, my name is Joanne Zhang. I am in Ms.Hunger's second period AP English class, and this is my fall final part 1. This advertisement is supposed to appeal to mainly groups of teenagers, especially maybe those going through a hard time right now, because it revolves around the idea of optimism, and maybe they'd want to learn more about it, or maybe because the story I'm talking about revolves around more of a teenager-based audience. Ever feel like it's you against the world? Everything you've done up to this point seemed meaningless? Sometimes we hit a new point in our lives where we've given up, fallen victim to hopelessness and despair. This is very evident in the plot of Jubaku Shonen Hanako-kun, where we see the main character on the left of this picture, a worn-out and heartbroken high schooler by the name Yashiro, who underwent that experience after many times of rejection and failure in her life. In this visual, we were met with Yashiro sitting in a fairly empty room, a symbol of her thoughts and potentially expresses her emptiness at this moment. However, on the right here, she seems to meet one of the school's 7 mysteries, a spirit by the name Hanako, who in which shines the light to the idea of optimism and changes Yashiro's values. In this visual, we clearly see Yashiro on the left, who seems to have been crying over something, likely a frustrating situation as shown from the previous slide, as she was helplessly lying on the floor. On the right, we have Hanako, who shares a rather warm and comforting smile, conveying the idea of pathos in order to appeal to Yashiro's emotions during her dire situation. He sits on the floor accompanying her as well, as if he was reassuring Yashiro that everything was going to be okay. That reassurance would eventually lead to a newfound hope, as we see in this slide, Yashiro's expression changes completely in the picture on the bottom right. Hanako continues to wear a smile on his face and even lifts her off the ground, changing the tone and expression of the room completely. Comparing to the tone in the beginning, which was rather gloomy and empty, consisting of mostly white and blank background, we now have a more colorful and cheerful atmosphere thanks to Hanako's optimism and positivity that influenced Yashiro. We see further development as Yashiro begins to smile a lot more and expresses herself more socially with Hanako and others. We even see her in the middle approaching Hanako in a very friendly manner, suggesting that she has found a purpose and hope thanks to Hanako's actions. Hanako was able to utilize different rhetorical appeals and devices, such as reading the blank atmosphere that was expressed by Yashiro, that room being a symbol for desperation and despair. Hanako appealed and comforted her with pathos in which was conveyed through his expressions and warm smiles. This changed the tone of the room, creating a more lively and hopeful environment, in which eventually impacted Yashiro's life, making her more optimistic about situations and even manifesting new goals and ambitions. Optimism is the key to hope, which can create purpose in one's life.